Now the first step is to install the game to solid state drive instead of HDD. So if you have installed the game to mechanical hard drive, in that case try installing the game to SSD and then check the game runs fine on SSD. Now the next step is to restart your computer. Do not ignore this step, just restart your computer once, and after the system restart try launching the game and then check. Next step is to delete the config folder. Now to delete the config folder, open File Explorer, go to this PC, open C drive. Now open users folder. Now open your username folder. Now open app data. If you don't see app data on the top, click on view, select show, and then put a check on hidden items and then open app data folder. Now open the local folder. Now over here you can see 11-bit studios folder. Open this folder, open Frostpunk 2 folder and open the Steam folder, saved folder, and over here you will see the config folder. Make a right click and then click on delete. Now once you delete this folder, now you can launch the game and then check. Next step is to disable GeForce Experience optimization. So if you're using GeForce Experience, you can open GeForce Experience. If you're using it, open it, and then on the top right here you can see settings, the gear icon, click on it, and then go to games and app and uncheck the box which says automatically optimize newly added games and application. You can uncheck this box and then you can simply close GeForce Experience. So if GeForce Experience is open, you can close it and then launch the game and then check. Next step is to try DX12 in launch option. So make a right click on the game, select properties, and in the launch option type in -DX12. Now launch the game and then check. If that does not work, go to properties once again and this time type in -D3D11. So it's -D3D12. I'm sorry, it's not 11. D3D12. You can try this in the launch option and then close this and then launch the game and then check. If that does not work, you can try DX11. Type in -DX11 and then check. If that does not work, you can type in -D3D11 and then launch the game and then check. Still not working, then you can uncheck all these boxes. You can remove entry from this launch option, empty it, and then now you can launch the game and then check. Now the next step is to disable Intel hyperthreading. So you can go to your system BIOS and then if hyperthreading is enabled, you can disable it, apply the settings, restart your computer and then check. And whenever you want to enable it, you can go to system BIOS and enable it. For many users, disabling hyperthreading has worked, so you can try this. If this does not work, you can always enable it in system BIOS. Now the next step is to perform a clean installation of your graphics driver. So if you have Nvidia card, go to Nvidia website. If you have AMD card, go to AMD website. I'm showing for Nvidia. So go to Nvidia website and then select your product type. For me, it's GeForce Experience. So select your product type and then select the right series. So whichever is your series, select your series. In my case, it's 30 series. So select your series and then select your graphic card. Make sure that you select your graphic card. If you have Windows 11, select Windows 11. If you have Windows 10, select Windows 10. And then select game ready driver. It should be by default. And then click on search. Now click on download. And then click on download once again. Now once the download is complete, you have to run this exe file. Now once you run the exe file, you will see the screen. Now click on agree and continue and then select custom. Select custom over here and then click on next and then put a check on the box which says perform a clean installation. Make sure that you put a check on perform a clean installation and then click on next. And once the clean installation is done, now you can restart your computer, and after the system restart you can launch the game. So make sure that you restart your computer after this and then restart your computer and then launch the game. Now the next step is to run the game on dedicated graphic card. Now for this, type in graphics settings in Windows search box and then go to graphics settings. Now click on browse over here. Now go to the game installation folder. If the game installed in C drive, open C drive, program files x86. Now open the Steam folder. Open the Steam folder. Now open the Steam apps folder. Now open the common folder. Now open the Frostpunk 2 folder. Select the game exe file. Now click on add. Once the game is added over here, click on options. Select high performance. Now click on save. Again click on browse, and then this time open Frostpunk 2 folder, binaries, Win64. Select the game exe file. Click on add. Once the game is added over here, now click on options. Select high performance. Now click on save. Now launch the game and then check. Now Nvidia users, you can set the OpenGL Rendering GPU to your dedicated Nvidia GPU. Now for this, go to desktop, make a right click on the desktop, show more option, and then click on Nvidia control panel. Now once Nvidia control panel is open, now go to manage 3D settings. Now go to program settings. Now over here click on add and then select the game from the list. So if you see the game over here, Frostpunk 2, you can select the game and then click on add selected program. Now if you don't see the game over here, you can click on browse and then you can go to the game installation folder and then select the game exe file. So open the Steam folder, Steam apps folder, common folder, and then open the game folder, select the game exe file and then click on open. And then do the same thing with both the exe files. So select this, click on open, and once the game is added, now select high performance Nvidia processor. Now find in the scroll down and find OpenGL Rendering GPU. Now from auto select, you can select it and select your graphic card over here and then hit apply on the bottom right. And once it is applied, again click on add and then this time click on browse once again and then open Frostpunk 2 binaries Win64. Select this exe file, open, and then select high performance Nvidia processor and then find OpenGL rendering, and from auto select your graphic card and on the bottom right hit apply and then launch the game and then check. Now the next step is to run the game as an administrator from the game installation folder. So you can make a right click on the game, select manage, then click on browse local files. It will take you to the game installation folder. Make a right click on the game exe file, select properties, and then go to the second tab and then put a check on the box which says run this program as an administrator and then hit apply, click on OK, make a double click, launch the game. If that does not work, again select properties and then this time put a check over here and select Windows 8, apply, OK, launch the game and then check. If that does not work, select properties once again and this time select Windows 7 over here, hit apply, click on OK, and then make a double click, launch the game. If that does not work, select properties and this time put a check on disable full screen optimization, hit apply, click on OK, and then make a double click, launch the game from here. If that does not work, do the same thing with the second exe file. Open this folder, binaries Win64, make a right click on the game exe file, select properties and do the same thing. So select run this program as an administrator, hit apply, click on OK, make a double click, launch the game. If that does not work, put a check over here, Windows 8, hit apply, click on OK, launch the game. If that does not work, select Windows 7, hit apply, click on OK, launch the game and then check. If that does not work, put a check on disable full screen optimization, apply, OK, make a double click, launch the game and then check. Still not working. So when you put a check on all these boxes, if it's not working, you can uncheck all these boxes, hit apply, click on OK, go back and do the same thing with the first exe file, make a right click, select properties and uncheck all these boxes and follow the next step. Now the next step is to verify the game file. Now this is important, do not ignore this. Make a right click on the game, select properties and then go to the installed files and then click on verify integrity of game files. This is important. Once the verification is complete, this will take some time, and once the verification is complete, now you can launch the game and then check. Next step is to allow the game exe file to antivirus program. So if you have any third-party antivirus like Avast, Norton, Bitdefender, McAfee, whichever antivirus program you have, allow the game exe file to your antivirus program. I am not using any third-party antivirus. If you're using Windows security, then open Windows settings and then go to privacy and security if you have Windows 11 and then click on Windows security. If you have Windows 10, you will have an option update in security and then click on Windows security. Now click on virus and threat protection and then scroll down, click on manage ransomware protection. Now click on allow an app through controlled folder access. Click on yes to allow. Now click on add an allowed app, browse all apps. Now go to the game installation folder and then open the game folder. Select the game exe file, click on open. Once the game is added, again click on add an allowed app, browse all apps, open Frostpunk 2, binaries Win64, select the game exe file, click on open. Once it is added, now type in control panel in Windows search box and then click on control panel. Now go to system and security, Windows Defender Firewall. Now click on allow an app or feature through Windows Defender Firewall. Now click on change settings on the top. Click on allow another app, browse, and then go to the game installation folder. Open Frostpunk 2 folder. Select the game exe file, click on open, and then click on add. In my case, the game is already added. Once added, again click on allow another app, click on browse, and this time open Frostpunk 2 binaries Win64. Select this exe file, click on open. Now click on add. Once the game is added over here, now click on OK on the bottom. Now you can launch the game and then check. Now the next step is to roll back graphics driver to older version. So you can copy this link. The link is provided in the video description. Open this link in a browser. It will take you to Nvidia website and then select your graphic card from the list. Make sure that you select your graphic card over here. Select the right operating system and then click on start search and then scroll down. Now scroll down over here, whichever is latest you will see at the top. You can roll back to previous GeForce game ready driver or maybe before that. So you can try installing the previous older version of graphic card drivers. Click on get download. But when you try to install it, make sure that you put a check on the box which says perform a clean installation. After clean installation, restart your computer and then launch the game and then check. Next step is to increase the virtual memory. So to increase the virtual memory, type in view advanced system settings in Windows search box and then click on view advanced system settings and then click on the first settings and then go to advanced tab and then click on change over here and then select the drive. So uncheck the box which says automatically manage paging file size for all drives. Uncheck this box and select the drive where the game is installed. So select the drive and then once you select the right drive, now put a check on custom size, and for initial size it's 1.5 into total RAM. So you can check the total RAM in Windows settings. You can go to system and then go to about, and total RAM in my case is 16 GB. So you can calculate accordingly. In my case it's 16 GB, so I will calculate as per 16 GB. So, and first of all we have to convert 16 GB into megabyte. So we will open calculator. So type in calculator in run box and then click on OK, and over here it's 1.5 into total RAM. Total RAM in my case it's 16 GB. So 116 into 1024 is actually 1 GB is equal to 1024 megabyte. So 16 GB in megabyte will be 16384 into 1.5 into total RAM. This is my total RAM in megabyte. Now 1.5 into total RAM, that is into 1.5. So in my case initial size is 24576 and maximum size is 3 into total RAM. Now total RAM in my case that is 16 GB. I have 16 GB of RAM. So 16 into 1024. I have converted this in megabyte. Now that is 3 into total RAM. So total RAM is this much into 3. That is 49152. 49152. Now click on set over here. Then click on OK. OK. Apply. OK. OK. Now restart computer. Make sure that you restart your computer after this. Now the next step is to install Visual C++ file. Now for this, copy this link. The link is provided in the video description. Open this link in a browser. It will take you to Microsoft website. Now scroll down over here. You can see Visual Studio 2015, 17, 19 and 22. Download x86 and x64. You have to download both the file, that is x86 and x64, and then run both the exe files. So run this file. Click on repair. If you see repair, if you see install, click on install. Click on yes to allow. Download this x64 as well, and then run this x64 file as well. Again, if you see the repair option, click on repair. If you see install option, click on install. Click on yes to allow and let the installation complete. Make sure both the installation, that is x64 and x86, both are installed. Once this is installed, you will see a restart option. Restart your computer, and after the system restart, you can launch the game and then check. Next step is to unplug external devices. So if you have any external devices which you are not using, so if you have these devices connected, disconnect it. If you have additional controller connected, disconnect additional controller. Try launching the game on single monitor. If you have any third-party services or application running, close it. Disable Steam overlay. Now for this, make a right click on the game, select properties, and then go to the general tab and turn off the option which says enable the Steam overlay while in game. Now if you have any other overlay application running, like if you have Discord running, you can just close Discord, or you can turn off overlay in Discord. So I will just close Discord or GeForce Experience. So close all the overlay applications. So just close all the overlay application and then launch the game. Also close all the overclocking applications. So if you have like application like MSI Afterburner running, you can make a right click. You can close MSI Afterburner, Riva Tuner. So close all kind of overclocking application. Also perform clean boot. Now for this, type in system configuration in Windows search box and then click on system configuration. Now go to the services tab and then put a check on the box which says hide all Microsoft services, and then click on disable all. In my case, disable all is grayed out. I already did it. In your case, this would be highlighted. So make sure you put a check on hide all Microsoft services first, and then click on disable all, click on apply, click on OK. You will see a restart option, restart your computer and then launch the game. Also, if you have undervolted your computer, remove the undervolt and then launch the game. Update your Windows to the latest version. Now this is important. Do not ignore this. So go to Windows settings, go to Windows update or update in security, and then click on check for update. Make sure that your Windows is up to date to the latest version. Once all the updates are installed, then restart your computer, and after the system restart, launch the game. Next step is to, now you can skip this step if you're not able to launch the game. If you are able to launch the game, lock the FPS at 60, set upscaling to TSR. You can even turn off upscaling. You can disable it. Change upscaling to quality. You can select quality or performance. Disable frame generation. Disable or enable vertical sync, and then switch to window mode and lower down video settings. So if you are able to launch the game first. Now go to settings and then go to graphics. Now over here, if everything is set to ultra high, you can set it to high, or maybe you can set it to medium. So I will set everything to medium. So in my case, everything is medium over here. Now if FSR is selected over here and you're facing the problem, in that case you can select TCR and then check. Lock the FPS at 60 and then upscaling quality. If you're using FSR, you can set it to quality. So but I'm using TSR right now. Now if this is set to ultra performance, you can set it to quality. Now you can switch to window mode and then check. Now VSync, if this is off, turn it off. If this is on, then turn it off and then check. Turn off frame generation. If this is on, turn it off, and lower down resolution. Now if this is set to 4K, you can try 1920 into 1080p. You can even lower down more, and then apply the settings and then check the performance. Now the next step is that is the last step. Now before the last step, just update your system BIOS. So go to your system manufacturer website. So if you have a Dell computer, go to Dell. If you have Lenovo, go to Lenovo. If you have HP computer, go to HP website. So whichever computer, whichever brand you have, go to your system manufacturer website, select your model number, and then find the latest BIOS update available. Make sure that you select your computer and then update the system BIOS. Now, before, in case of laptop, before you update the system BIOS, make sure battery on your computer is more than 10% and the AC adapter, the charger, is connected to the computer when you update the system BIOS. During the BIOS update, your system will restart. Do not unplug the power cable when it's updating the system BIOS. After the BIOS update, you can log into the computer and then launch the game. Last step is to uninstall and reinstall the game to different drive. So uninstall the game, and once you uninstall the game, now go to the game installation folder, delete the game folder, restart your computer, and then reinstall the game to C drives. So if the game is installed to another SSD, you can try installing the game to C drive and then check. Now, if the game is already installed in C drive, then you can try to install the game to another SSD and then check. So one of the steps shown in this video should help you to get the game running on your Windows computer. So that'll be all. Thank you so much for your time, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel.